Hey guys, this is Ian,
I'm Daryl.
and this is the Announcer's Table presented by ringicon.com. You can check us out every Friday. We're going to be posting this podcast as a video form on YouTube at youtube.com/ringicon. You can also check out the website, which is ringicon.com/podcast. And you can also find us on iTunes now. So you just search iTunes for Ring Icon, and you'll be able to find our podcast to download it onto your iPhone or iPod or whatever. So yeah, that's where you can find us. You can check out our website, which is actually ringicon.com. It's a social networking site for those of you that don't know, for wrestlers, promoters, fans, referees, everything. So you can create a profile and share it with the world, share your wrestling experiences and things like that. So.
All right. Well, as you know, last week on our inaugural podcast, we talked about what we're about. I'm going to recap a little bit of what we talked about last week. Is our promotion builder segment was based on security. Our gimmick segment was interest music.
Right.
We answered the 10 questions that we're going to ask every guest.
And you really got to know us. So if you didn't get to listen to last week's podcast, go back and listen to it. It was a lot of great information with the gimmick builder and promotion builder with the security.
Yeah, you get a sense of knowing who we are and what we're about and our, business and wrestling. On today's show, we got a lot planned going on. Our promotion builder, we're going to be talking about how you can do different things to entertain the fans during intermissions.
Yeah.
Our gimmick builder, we're going to be talking about selling and not selling. Our guest, I'm excited about this one because we're going to have the man Scott Prater on as our guest tonight. We've been talking about this all week. We're pretty excited about that one. He's going to be our first guest that we've had on. And then, we have a new segment we're introducing, which, we'll have a bunch of those here lately since, first couple shows. It's called Ring Icon News. And then the Indy Scene, I'm doing a story on Kevin Steen, which is pretty cool. We discuss him a little bit. But other than that, let's just get right into it. You ready?
Yeah, definitely.
Today's promotion builder, like I said, we're going to be talking about how to entertain your fans and your audience during intermissions. Yeah,
during intermissions, also before the shows and even after the shows. You want to have something for people to do so that they're not just sitting there waiting for the action to happen. Because if they get bored, there's always the chance of them leaving, especially during an intermission. There's a lot of fans that sometimes, they saw the first couple guys and that's who they came for, and if you don't entertain them right at that point and keep them in their seats, they could leave. So, I mean, you might want to rethink who you're putting in the first couple matches. But,
we'll talk about that on another promotion builder.
Yeah, so we're just going to talk about a couple different things that could keep people entertained. So.
Yeah, what do you have in mind? Like, what's one thing you're thinking about?
One thing I really think really helps is to do wrestler interviews. If you have a good commentator or a good ring announcer that can bring a wrestler out, babyface for the most part, but you could have a good heel interview and get people riled up at the same time. Whatever might be coming up in the next couple of matches, a good interview could really set the tone and keep people entertained while you have your intermission. Let some people walk around and get some snacks if you have a snack bar or something like that. So an interview, I think, is one of the top things you could do to really help people out. But what do you think?
I totally agree with that. Another thing I was thinking about as we was trying to come up with some ideas is one I've seen done a couple of times. It's not overly used, but I think it helps out as a 50-50 drawing.
Yeah.
For you, those of y'all that don't know what that is you sell raffle tickets, okay, to all the audience members, and at the
to whoever wants to buy
to
them.
whomever wants to buy them. You don't force them
people.
to do it. But to whomever wants to buy, it gives them a chance. It's a 50-50 drawing, so whatever the pot is, they have a chance to win half of it, and the other half obviously goes to whomever's running the show.
Which is also a great thing to, help your promotion out. It could get you, T-shirts made, or it could get you to be able to maybe bring in some people that will,
do equipment if you need new equipment, something like that.
Or pay some of the guys that that are doing it just to help out. So anything to bring in some extra income into the show to help out, really, could be beneficial. And a 50-50, I mean, the fans, one lucky fan that wins the 50-50 is going to walk away with a bit of cash. So I mean, you sell it for $1, you sell 25 of them, or you sell 50 of them. That person walks out with $25, and it's a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
So it's worth it, I think, in the end.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, any other ideas you have thinking?
There's always the pie the wrestler or pie the referee. For either the person you love, you want to pie them, or the person you hate, you want to pie them. There are some iffies about that. There are some things you want to think about before you do a pie a wrestler. What do you think of?
Well, you want to have like a tarp area set up, right. Like you just throw down like a tarp and do the pie on that. You want to prepare
for it
very
well.
You got to prepare for it.
Don't just think, hey, let's pie a wrestler tonight,
Yeah.
I mean, think about it for a little while.
Yeah, because you need to let the boys in the back know that, hey, we're doing this, so don't just change and leave, okay? Yeah. Make sure you stay in your gear. And also, you need to have like a security person there that explains to the person that's pieing, don't just jam it in, just pie them, and the thing I tend to find out, I mean, that always makes a lot of money that I've seen, but it kind of makes all the hills mad because they know that there's 9 times out of 10 they're going to be the ones that really get
but
pied.
If you're a heel, make sure you take it as an honor that you're doing your job. You're doing a really good job making the crowd angry at you. You're doing your job as a heel to really build up the heat. So, I mean, take it as a honor that you were chosen to do that. I know it can be aggravating. That's another reason, another thing you, as a promoter, before you do it, you want to think about, make sure that you have a good place that the guys can wash off and clean up afterwards. Because if they have to do it with a water bottle or something, it just isn't a good thing. Because I mean, it's sticky, it gets messy, it smells. Just think about your workers before you commit to it, and let your guys know, because I mean, it can be upsetting when you kind of walk into it blindsided, and and the way to do it is you sell it kind of like a raffle ticket. You do only one. Don't allow people to pie every wrestler in the back, because then you'd be there all night and everybody would be upset.
Speaking of pies, we're not talking about like whole pies.
Don't go buy a $5
pie. Okay, you get like a paper plate or a styrofoam plate and a can of the spray whipped cream. That's all it is.
Yeah, and the fans love it. I mean, it really is. The fans really enjoy getting into that, and the person that gets to do it. I mean, even watching it, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I mean, as long as the wrestler that takes it with pride and takes. I mean, if you're a heel, go out there and be your heel.
Be your heel.
but at the same time, just take it. I mean, enjoy it. But and if something gets out of control, maybe you don't do it again. If something happens,
I'm not saying anything where it's gotten too crazy.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but you never know.
But that's what I mean. Go back and watch last week's show about security. Definitely have a security guard on stand for that. Are there other things you can think of?
One I was thinking of today, which I thought would be kind of cool, and I wish that when I went to promotions as a kid that I got the chance to do this, was like during intermissions, have a fan come up and cut a promo, just like a little 30, 45 second promo. Let them get on the mic, not necessarily in the ring, but come up to the announcer's table or to wherever the PA system is, and let them get a chance to kind of get on the mic and act like a wrestler, and just kind of, do their little, imitation of whoever they're going to imitate. You'll probably get a lot of professional wrestlers that don't want to imitate and say their catchphrases and whatever. I mean, I think that would be pretty neat. And if I was a kid, I would totally.
It's definitely worth trying it out, and seeing how the crowd reacts to it. I mean, and just see where it goes,
Yeah.
But also, do. Pictures and autographs with the fans.
Yeah, that should be every time.
That's every time. Every place we've been to has always done a baby face thing where all the faces come out and really interact with the crowd and keep the crowd involved and take pictures and sign autographs and things like that.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in like. I mean, I know you got to get ready for the show, but like some of the babies like that aren't like the first couple of matches should definitely be out there before the show, meeting and greeting people, thanking them for coming.
In gear.
Yeah, in gear.
Be ready to do it in gear. I mean, look the part. Be ready to take
because they're going to want to get autographs or want to do pictures. Yeah. Definitely during intermissions, be out there thanking them for coming, and then like after the show, I mean, I know all y'all are ready to go home and everything like that, but y'all got to think, if y'all can keep this fan base and keep building on this fan base, the more you interact with them, the more they're going to be happy, the more they're going to want to come and spend their hard-earned money and come back
and bring their friends. So I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, anytime you can have the wrestlers continue to build the community. So autographs, fan base before and after the show. So, I mean.
Now, all right, we'll move on from this. This week on Gimmick Builder, like I prefaced before, we want to talk about selling and not selling. And it's a big thing that some people just don't think about, and we see it sometimes in the pros. We see it a good bit in the indies, some shows. And if you don't know what we're talking about, it's like, where somebody throws a move, okay, and they totally miss, and the other person sells it anyways. Like if I throw a punch at Ian, and I'm like way out here, and it's like very obvious that I missed, and he still sells it, that's bad wrestling. That's just not a cool thing to do. It just doesn't look good. Doesn't come off as good. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you miss by a mile, don't sell it as the person taking the move, and turn it around and turn the match around, because if it's obvious to you, most of the time it's going to be obvious to the fans. And when it's obvious to the fans, they're going to become disinterested, and they're just going to kind of start to tune out. And so just don't sell something that isn't there, because the whole thing is you want to make it look like it's real. That's the whole point, is to entertain people and make it look like you're doing a good job at it. And Absolutely. So you don't want to let people see that behind the curtain, because that's the whole entertainment side.
That's the whole allure of it. You want to come, you want to be entertained. And another way, if like you're a baby and a heel totally misses a move, you can like make put it back on him. That'll make the fans hate him more and kind of draw him some more heat.
Right.
And then if you're a heel, you can kind of look at the baby and be like, and you can look at the fans and be like, this is your guy you're cheering for. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can throw it back at each other. And I mean, just I don't know. And then like if somebody actually does a good move, like that's supposed to be a painful move, sell it, really sell it, make it look like it's really painful. Your face says a lot of things, your body movements. And I know you may be in the ring and you feel like you're, selling it because they're kicking you and you feel like you're moving around. But sometimes you got to kind of over-exaggerate the move for the audience to really be able to pick it up like it's a lot of pain.
Yeah, and I mean, you really need to videotape yourself. If your shows aren't taped, then record yourself at home and practice acting, because that's what it is you're putting on a show. You want to be able to. I remember actually I took an acting class in college, and everything on tape and what you feel, it never comes off the same. I remember I had to cut a promo kind of thing in front of the camera, and I thought I was like playing this really sad part and looking real sad and doing all this, and then we went back and watched all the tapes, and it was horrible. It just wasn't what I thought I was doing, So, really practice what you do. Because this is obviously your passion, your love for doing it. So, do the best you can. And so do whatever you can to improve on it. And so practice in front of a camera, practice in front of a mirror. The same thing we talked about with entrance is, you want to practice your gimmick all the time and really embrace it.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's just part of selling. That's, well, I want to kind of go back to, if you miss a move or someone else misses a move, and don't sell it, but if you don't sell it and the other person, don't get pissed off. You know what I mean? Never get angry with the person you're in the ring with. I know it sometimes if they screw up, you kind of want to just take out your anger. You know what I mean? But never do that. Never get angry with the other person, because both of you are in there to trust each other. And yeah, there might be mistakes every once in a while, but just never take your anger out on them physically in the ring. Always, take it in the back, and you can talk it out as men in the back. And just try to be civil and be grown men about it, because it just isn't worth getting angry and
a lot of drama. It's just not worth it.
So selling is a key thing to the wrestling world.
Now, if y'all have any ideas on our promotion builder as far as like things to do to entertain the audience during intermissions, please let us know. If there's something y'all are doing that we didn't mention, say it and we could add it some other time. Anything like that. And if y'all have anything to add to selling and not selling, feel free to hit us up.
I'm sure all of you have a lot of different opinions. I mean, some of you might not agree with me. I mean, a lot of the old school wrestlers, you might want to take out your aggression in the ring. I mean, let me know why you feel that way. I mean, I have a different aspect on things than you might. So, I mean, this is our opinion on the subject. So, let us know of your opinion, because, I mean, it really does differ all the time, especially between how you're trained and who you're trained by, and where you grew up and how you got into the business. It all affects how your idea is of the wrestling business. So just let us know. I mean, we'll be glad to discuss it with you, and maybe we'll have you on the show sometime and actually talk about it in the interview section. So.
Yep. All right, well, right now we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have our first guest on, the man Scott Prater, something I'm really looking forward to, so we'll be right back.
All right.
All right, and like I said earlier on today's show, we have the man Scott Prater with us. How's it going, Scott?
Pretty good.
Good. Scott's on the phone with us. We're going to ask him a couple questions, have some conversations with him. If you watched last week's show, Ian and I did run through the questions of what we're going to ask every guest. And we also have other questions and just conversation stuff we want to talk to him. Scott, how long have you been wrestling?
I've been in the business a little over 20 years now.
Wow, 20 years. That's a really long time. And, I'm assuming since it's been so long, you really must enjoy wrestling like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anybody can just get in there and work, but I mean, you got to have the heart and passion and work and train real hard to stay in it for that many years, and it's been good to me. I can't complain.
Well, that's awesome. Now, do you have anybody? Who could you say trained you?
Well, see, I was fortunate enough back when I started training back in April of '93. One of my guys that I worked out with and helped me out a lot was Dusty Dodson. I know a lot of people are familiar with him, but I was fortunate enough to have quite a few people to help me along the way, like New Jack and Mustafa, Bull Buchanan, Joel Deaton. So I had some really good people, showing me the ropes and the right way, and so I was very, very blessed at the time that I came up. And one of my mentors is Terry Lawler. He took me up under his wing and pretty much showed me the way.
Wow, man, that's a pretty impressive list of people there.
Yeah. Where are you wrestling currently, and where have you wrestled in the past that you really enjoyed wrestling at?
Well, I really enjoyed one show I went to, Stan Hansen. I believe it was Stan Hansen, if I can recall. It's been a while. We went to Mississippi and wrestled up there. And like I said, Black Hole Express was up there, and I really enjoyed that. And another place I wrestled at is Barnesville, and in Thomaston, Georgia. I really enjoyed going down there. Some real good people and a good organization. OCAA is a real good organization, and I really enjoy. That's probably one of my better ones that I've really enjoyed over my 20 years of wrestling.
Wow, that's awesome, man. I know Ian and I was talking, and we want to try and get down there and check out one of those shows down there in Barnesville.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, but now, do you have any family that's in the business or anything like that?
No, no. I mean, what really got me into it is I used to watch wrestling with my dad when it was on 6 hours, and ever since I was 8, 9 years old, I always told him that one day I want to do that, and here I am. Been in business 20 years, and I really don't regret any bit of it.
Well, I know on last week's show, Ian and I, when we was doing kind of giving people our background, we was talking, and Ian was talking about how you helped train him and how he worked your promotion, and and I was talking about how my family's in the business, and for y'all that don't know, Scott happens to be my uncle, and so I've seen him wrestle quite a bit, which I love watching him wrestle. Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and go into our question segment that we're gonna ask every fan every guest that we have on. I'll start it off with what is your favorite gimmick match?
Favorite gimmick match? Oh, that's an easy one. It was back in White, Georgia, and it was King of the Ring, and it was me and Terry Rocket Lawler, and that was, I'll tell you what, one of the matches that I can remember from here on out, man. It was an hour-long match. It was, like I said, King of the Ring, and I, of course, I prevailed, and I won King of the Ring. And that match, out of all my matches in 20 years, that's one that stands out the most.
Oh wow,
yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, an hour long. That's tough to do. I mean, that'll wear you out.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a lot of people don't realize, man. In that ring, man, it's very gruesome, and you gotta have good stamina. And it's I'd let you know, I was very tired after that match. I mean, I knew I was in a match, and like I said, that's out of 20 years, that's one of the matches that sticks out most.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you could wrestle anyone, living or dead, who would it be?
Oh wow. Geez, I just pick one.
we had the same problem.
Yeah. Hey, you list as many as you need to.
I tell you, man. Well, if I couldn't wrestle my own self, it'd have to be probably wrestler number 2.
Wrestler number 2?
Yeah, I remember him. Okay. Now, who, and you can't pick yourself, but who is your favorite wrestler?
My favorite wrestler? Oh, Ian, of course. No.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Probably, if I would have to pick one, probably Gentleman Chris Adams.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Man, yeah, I remember him.
All right. What is your favorite wrestling moment? Would that go back to your
King of the Ring
Ring match?
Yeah, I mean I hate to keep saying that, but that's probably one of my most memorable matches that I've had in my 20-year career.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now to go off of that, what is your worst or most embarrassing moment that you've had in wrestling?
Oh wow. That's a tough one. Oh, I know. One that I can remember is I was up at Dillon Music Park in the NCAA. I was doing a run-in, and they had some water out around the ring, and I was doing a run-in, and I went to run, and half of my body went into the ring, and the other half outside the ring. It's like I didn't make it all the way in.
Oh, bet that was kind of painful.
That was probably the most embarrassing. But, I tried to cover it up, but I got ripped pretty hard by the guys in the back after I got back there.
Yeah.
I bet.
They told me I was too short. I should have jumped a little higher.
Yeah. What is your favorite finisher or wrestling move?
Probably something old school, just a simple small package. I mean, you don't always ever see that. I mean, that's a quick, easy move. I mean, it surprises anybody. But I'd probably have to say the small package.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, who is your favorite champion of all time? And I'll elaborate a little bit. It doesn't have to be heavyweight champion. It could be tag champion, TV champion, whatever. Who's your favorite champion of all time?
Champion of all time. Oh, man. I tell you, I really enjoyed watching Bob Backlund when he won the belt. I mean, that's one of the underdogs that, you hardly ever hear about. I mean, Bob Backlund was, he was a very unique guy. And I guess when he won the championship, I really enjoyed that. So I'd have to say Bob Backlund.
Yeah.
Okay, I can dig that. He had what was his finishing move? The chicken wing or the crossface chicken wing or something?
Yeah, crossface chicken wing, I believe it was.
Yeah.
If you could say that someone is either overrated or underrated, do you know any wrestlers that who would you consider as underrated or overrated in the wrestling, either business, indie, or in the pros?
Man, that's a good one too. I always like the underdogs. So if I had to say somebody, it'd probably be, I don't know, probably Jeff Hardy. I don't think he gets enough credit for the sacrifice that man does. And the sacrifice he does for this business. And I don't think he's overrated because, if anything, he's underrated. Because that guy, he's it's unbelievable the stuff that he does. He puts his body through for this business.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's definitely hurt himself quite a few times with the stuff he's done. So.
Okay, well, who do you think would be your overrated if you had to pick somebody that was overrated?
Overrated, probably. It's one guy. Probably he hasn't been in it that long, but probably Brock Lesnar. I would say he's overrated.
That's what I said.
Yeah, he said Brock Lesnar.
That was my choice, I just feel he's just a little too overpaid for the little bit he does with wrestling nowadays. So
I would say he definitely has to be the overrated.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's your favorite stable or tag team of all time?
Oh man, everybody knows this. The Road Warriors, man.
Yep.
Best tag team of all time.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to disagree. I think they're fantastic, but I'm going to say the Freebirds. My stable.
We can solve this.
I'm good. Right? Road Warriors it is.
I know there's a lot of different catchphrases out there. Can you think of one that would be like your favorite catchphrase or saying or slogan by a wrestler or even an organization?
Oh yeah, it's my slogan. The one I say, don't hate me, hate yourself because you can't be me.
That's right.
There you go. There you go. You heard it from the man, Scott Prater. Now, that ends the question segment, but I want to keep talking to you for just a minute or two, Scott. I want to ask you, now, you've been wrestling 20 years, okay? How many injuries, have you had, and what's the worst injury that you've had?
I've been fortunate not to have, I've had some serious injuries, but not many. The one I've had, I broke my ankle up in Ranger, Georgia, wrestling the Freak, Dean Barnwell. It was a simple thing. We had a chair on fire in the middle of the ring. Went to do a side slam onto the chair, put him on the chair for a side slam. And when I did, I come down, and my body went one way, my ankle went the other, and it snapped just that quick.
Oh, wow.
That's probably had to. And then another one I had was up in TWA up in Dalton, wrestling morphine. I came off the top rope to do my manslaughter, and when I did, I shifted a little bit too much when I did my flip, and I came down on my shoulder, and it separated my shoulder.
Ooh.
But as far as any other ones, I've been very blessed over my 20 years not to have something that that would put me out of wrestling. But I'd say I've been very blessed in my 20 years of not having besides those two injuries.
Now let me ask you this: you wrestle all over North Georgia and South Georgia, obviously. Do you have a favorite like independent wrestler right now that you've seen, some kid that you think just like has that it factor or something like that?
Well, yeah, I've seen a few young kids that has the potential of being a good wrestler. That's one thing about these young guys that comes in, and I'm not going to stay on too long, but these young guys come in and they think they know it all about wrestling, and and they don't want to listen to nobody, and that just gets up under my skin. And but yeah, I've seen a couple guys. I'm not quite sure what organization they was in, but I tell you, if they work hard and just listen and train hard, they'll be pretty good. It's just like Ian. If we can never get him back in that ring, he was a tremendous wrestler. As long as he listened and did what he's told, and he had a lot of potential.
Yeah, you're gonna give Ian a big head over here. Now, let me ask you.
I just speak the truth. But it's hard to find those kids that has the heart and the passion. I mean, anybody can get in there and think they know it, but you gotta have the heart because it's not a walk in the park as people would think it would be.
Yeah.
Now,
well, have you mentioned earlier that Daryl mentioned earlier, and we've talked about before, is that you ran a promotion for a good 2 years or so, maybe longer, 3 years or so. Do you have any advice for promoters, about running shows and things like that?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, this is just me speaking. Me and my wife, Krista, we ran our show. I think it was like 4 years up there in Trine. And to me, about running a show is to give people opportunity to see what they got and give them ring experience and help them out any way you can. And you don't necessarily have to bring in name people because you got to look at the people who comes and who's loyal to you every single week that you wrestle, and take care of those people first because those people can put bodies in seats because your show is only good as your talent that you have there, and you ain't got to bring in names all the time to have a good show and to draw people because it's like the old saying says, if you build it, they will come. So, I mean, if my advice would be, build it with the young talent that you got and bring in people that's been in the business. I'm not talking about people that's been in WWE or stuff like that, but not necessarily people like me, but, people that's been in the business a while that can help these young guys and help the show out and teach these guys, put them up under the wing and teach them the right way and just go about it that way instead of, because I'll tell you, in this business, a lot of people promote these shows, they think they're going to make money. It's not all about the money. It's about taking care of the guys who take care of you at these shows.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let me ask you one final question. How do you feel about the state of independent wrestling where it stands right now? What would you improve upon, or what do you see that you think just needs to stop in independent wrestling right now?
Oh, wow. Well, a lot to me is people, when there's a show, an independent show running, another promoter don't try to run in his town and cutthroat him or any other show. I would like to see, back when I started back in '93, man, the promotions, the shows that you went to was like a big family. And I've noticed a lot of shows that I went to, it's not like that. You got different groups here and there, and these all go back to a big family and big group because to me that's what it's all about. It's having a big family, and but I mean that's one of the problems these days now. Is you got different promotions, and it's who's trying to be the superstar, and it don't need to be like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Scott, I want to thank you for coming on the announcer's table and being our first guest that we've had.
Hey, man, I'm very honored.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I know you're a busy man, and we will talk to you later, sir.
Hey, like I always say, don't hate me. Hate yourself because you can't beat me.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one.
You too. All right, well, that sums up the questions and our first guest right here. Let us know what you think. Send us some comments. What do you think?
Oh, I love Scott. He's a great guy. He taught me so much about the business. And so, it definitely is an honor to talk to him. And he's done a lot for the business here in Georgia, like running his own show for a long time. And I see him at all the shows I go to, so he's a great guy, great wrestler. Like we mentioned last week, is that he is we've never really seen him as a baby. We've always seen him as a heel.
He's always been heel.
And he can pull heat like no other.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane.
It's crazy.
Insane how much heat he gets. I mean, and because you're right, I've known him majority of my life, and I've never. I don't think I've ever seen him be baby. I mean, I'm not saying he's not ever been, but I've from my recollection, I can't ever remember him being a baby.
Yeah.
But I mean,
because I always wanted to tag with him. I always wanted to be a tag team partner with him at some point, but it could never happen just because I always ran baby and he always ran heel. So we would always have amazing matches together, but we just never had the chance to tag up. So.
Well, the next segment we want to do, last week we did the pros. This week we want to talk about the Indy Scene. And I want to spotlight a wrestler that I've been talking to you about. And I know I've been blowing you up all week, calling you and texting you and telling you to check out these videos because I'm real high on this guy right now. I mean, he has, really impressed me. Not that I really matter, but I mean, I'm just really high on him. And I'm talking about Kevin Steen. Yeah. He wrestles in Ring of Honor. And now, in Ring of Honor, he did make his debut at Do or Die 4, and that was February 19th of 05.
Yeah.
And the titles that he's held, because I've done a little bit of research, I've been, I want to get ready for the segment because I was like, because something happened and I got caught on to him, and I'm like, I want to. I remember talking to you last week. I'm like, I want to do a whole segment just on him real quick and just talk about him, and he's held the tag titles, and right now for like the past year, he has been the Ring of Honor heavyweight champion, and last week I said my favorite move was the Shining Wizard. Okay, I'm changing it today. It is now the package pile driver. And if you have not seen Kevin Steen do this, I know I called you like at least 10 times to tell you to check out this move because I was just like, holy cow, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Then
he tried to explain it to me.
Yeah, I tried to explain it.
And explaining a wrestling move is never very easy over the phone.
No,
so,
not at all.
Yeah.
So I would encourage you to go check out some of his videos. A couple of videos on YouTube. One of them is the top 25 moves of Kevin Steen. And if you have a little bit more time, and this is one of my favorites, was the top 95 moves of Kevin Steen. Because honestly, he does some stuff that I've never seen before.
Yeah, I agree.
And I was like, wow, because I remember like every time I saw something, I was like, oh man, I'm calling Ian, I want to talk about this. And I was like, Ian, watch this video. And so I would encourage you, go check it out. I mean, he's also great on the mic. I guess the only negative I can really say about Kevin Steen is he's Canadian. But, I'm just kidding. But I have nothing wrong with the Canadians.
No.
But I mean, other than that, I think he's a really great guy.
Yeah.
If you have, if y'all have any other independent wrestlers or people who are not like huge as far like WWE and Impact go, submit them to us. We'll talk about them and find out.
Well, I just wanted to. I guess I'll throw my 2 cents in about Kevin Steen. I definitely agree. Awesome wrestler. He, all the moves he does. Of course, they always take 2 people to do. So you have to give a lot of credit to the guys he works. Because there are people that can make workers look good. I'm sure he does that. He can make some guys look really good that are lower on the totem pole, but I know a lot of those guys at Ring of Honor are amazing wrestlers, and they make him really stand out.
Oh, absolutely.
So I want to give credit to those guys because you'll see the package pile driver being done, and that you got to give a lot of credit to some of the other guys that he's doing that too. That are willing to work with him and do that. So
we know Ring of Honor is a fantastic organization anyways, because if you look at the talent that comes out of Ring of Honor. A lot of them are signed to WWE.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan is a good example.
CM Punk.
CM Punk. The Shield.
Yeah.
All of them. And there's tons more. I know I'm missing a bunch. But Ring of Honor just produces a lot of good talent anyways. And there's, and honestly, watching some episodes of Ring of Honor, it reminds me of ECW. Yeah. Because the fans are real rabid about it. They really get into it. They really get the chants going and doing stuff like that. And it's really, really amazing.
Yeah.
So we're introducing a new segment today called Ring Icon News. And first of all, we want to thank all the new members that have signed up and created their profiles. It's really awesome. I'm looking forward to interacting with you guys. I know Ian's looking forward to interacting with you. Make sure you hop on the forums, comment on there. We have all kinds of different tabs up there. Your cage, what's going on. Post your music. Just let us know. Talk to us. Let us know about you and what you like.
And then just you can always copy and paste your link into other sites and share your profile with other people.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it's really just a great way to share your experiences and your pictures and things like that with the wrestling community. But we also have a lot of other things coming up. We're working on t-shirt designs. Daryl's got one on right now. I've got another. We've got a couple other designs we're working on, and we're going to be putting those out in the next couple weeks. And really just to help people out and to show off Ring Icon, to so that you can tell other people about your profile and your experiences. So, but we also have other things in the next couple weeks that we're going to try to do. We're going to do some contest giveaways, and everybody likes free stuff. So
absolutely, I love free stuff.
Yeah, so we're going to probably do a gear giveaway to a wrestler, or a full referee attire from shoes to pants to shirt, to deck out a whole new referee. And one of the big things we want to do in the next couple months is to maybe do a boot giveaway, because
absolutely,
everybody we've seen, they use either wrestling shoes or their boots are pretty old by now.
Yeah, because they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, they are, and so
people just don't always have that money to just throw down on a pair of good boots.
Because most people that we know are doing it for their love of the sport. So
absolutely.
They can't put a whole lot into it, and live their personal lives. So a pair of boots would be amazing, and so we hope to do a contest for that. It'll be actually at ringicon.com/contest.
Yeah, so that's going to be coming up next couple of weeks, the details of the contest.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to that. Now, in closing, let us tell you, Ian and I, we've had a pretty busy week.
Yeah.
It's been pretty crazy. Why don't you tell the fans what we've had going on?
Yeah, other than designing the shirts and getting them ready to print and things like that, we actually met with a documentary crew that's filming all in North Georgia, independent wrestling.
Yeah,
and
what is the hat?
Yeah.
What's their hat
so we met with them this week, and we actually got to talk with them, and they interviewed us, and so we'll actually be on the documentary talking about ringicon.com and our experiences and our history with wrestling and things like that. So we look forward to seeing the documentary. They said it should be out this fall, so we're definitely looking to see that. The documentary will be called Wrestling North Georgia Style, and you can check out their Facebook page. Just search wrestling wrestle in without the G. It's with an apostrophe, North Georgia Style, and so you can check them out.
Yeah, they have some videos up already.
Yeah, and they're gonna actually do a hat giveaway and a mug giveaway, I believe. So check out their Facebook page to see more about the documentary.
Yep. So. And also, I want to thank our guest, the man Scott Prater, for coming on, doing the show, being our first guest that we've had.
Yeah, it was great.
I thought it went pretty well. Also, next week, I'm pretty excited about this. I know you are. We've talked about this off air. Hellraiser John Arden's going to be on the show. check out some videos. I mean, he has some videos. You've seen them.
Yeah, you can check out his videos on YouTube. Just search John Arden or Hellraiser John Arden, or even NEW, which is in Subligna, Georgia. He's the heavyweight champ there right now, so you can see some of his action, and you can actually search HCP because he's
Hardcore Productions.
Yeah,
He's been the champ out there now for a couple months, right?
Yeah, and I mean he's a great wrestler. He's been in the business a long time.
Yeah,
and
so I'm excited to talk to him.
Yeah, definitely.
And find out, his take on stuff. And if you have any questions, please send them to us. Let us know.
Yeah, you can either send them to my email address, which is iancarson@ringicon.com, or you can just post it directly on Ring Icon, and we'll see it. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As always, I want to thank the crew. I want to thank our executive producer, Becca, makeup by Trixie Rotten, our sound tech, Garrett Michael, and catering by Nina's Catering Company. So I'm really excited. That was some really good food.
Yeah.
So as always, we'll see you next week. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Ian. And this is the Announcer's Table, presented by ringicon.com. Thanks.